A hippopotamus is a large mammal known for its bulky body, short legs, and wide mouth. It is an animal that spends a great deal of time in the water, using it to stay cool and comfortable. The body of the hippopotamus is covered with thick skin, and its movements, though slow on land, are surprisingly agile in water. It is one of the heaviest mammals and has a solid, muscular frame. This animal has a unique appearance, with small ears and eyes positioned high on its head. This placement allows the hippopotamus to keep most of its body submerged, while still being able to see and hear above the surface. The nostrils also sit high on the snout, enabling it to breathe while mostly underwater. These adaptations help it maintain a calm and low-profile presence in the water. The hippopotamus is known for its powerful jaw and wide mouth, capable of opening extremely wide. While this feature gives it an intimidating look, its use is not only for defense but also for communication and social behavior. It often displays this large gape in interactions with other animals, especially of its own kind. Despite its heavy appearance, the hippopotamus is capable of moving quickly over short distances, especially when disturbed. On land, it can surprise observers with bursts of speed. In the water, it walks or runs along the bottom rather than swims in the traditional sense, using its weight to move in a controlled manner. The diet of the hippopotamus is mostly plant-based, and it primarily feeds on grasses. It leaves the water at night to search for food, typically walking in the same paths each time. These mammals are very habitual in their feeding routines, often returning to the same areas repeatedly. Though large and strong, the hippopotamus does not rely on hunting or scavenging. It does not consume meat as part of its typical diet. Its digestive system is adapted to process large amounts of plant matter, and it spends a good part of the night feeding slowly and steadily. Its feeding behavior is often solitary. Even though it may live in groups in the water, it feeds alone. Each animal will cover a fair amount of ground in search of fresh growth, often walking for several kilometers during a night of grazing. They do not usually compete aggressively for food. During feeding, the hippopotamus uses its strong lips and large mouth to pull and tear grass rather than chew with precision. The teeth are designed more for fighting and defense than for grinding food. Though the back teeth still help process plant material, its digestive process is efficient for its needs. The amount of food consumed in a day is significant due to its size. However, the hippopotamus is not constantly eating. It feeds for a few hours and then returns to the water before daylight. This schedule keeps it cool during the heat of the day and safe from the sun's intensity. Though it has access to water plants in its aquatic environment, it usually prefers land vegetation. Grasses are its main source of nutrition, and it selects areas where these are abundant and easy to reach. If food becomes scarce, it may travel farther, but it tends to remain near known feeding grounds. The mammal does not uproot or destroy large plants during feeding. It uses a controlled method, targeting short vegetation that grows close to the ground. Its feeding habits allow the environment to recover quickly, and the animal may graze in the same location night after night without depleting the area. Though generally peaceful while feeding, the hippopotamus will not hesitate to act aggressively if disturbed. This behavior ensures that it can eat in peace and protect its routine. Animals or intruders that come too close while it is feeding may face threats or displays of dominance. The mammal does not eat while in the water, despite spending most of its day there. It waits until the evening to move onto land to find food. This contrast between aquatic rest and land feeding defines much of its daily life and energy use. Its digestive system is adapted to low-protein, fibrous plants. This means it can go long periods without food if necessary, drawing energy from reserves in its large body. But when food is available, it eats in regular, steady amounts. The efficiency of its digestion supports its size and strength. Hippopotamuses feed mostly at night and rest during the day, following a clear rhythm. This routine is not easily changed, even when the environment shifts. They are creatures of habit when it comes to their diet and feeding path. They do not use tools or complex methods to gather food. Instead, they rely on their size, strength, and memory of locations. This keeps their energy use low and allows them to survive even when the environment becomes less favorable. The feeding behavior of the hippopotamus is central to its identity as an animal. Though it appears aggressive at times, its relationship with food is calm and repetitive. It feeds alone, walks known paths, and returns to the same places, maintaining a connection with its surroundings. The diet of the hippopotamus reveals much about its lifestyle. It is a peaceful grazer that seeks nourishment from the land, not through force, but through routine and adaptation. Its size and power are not used for hunting, but for preserving its place in the environment and continuing its simple but effective way of life. The hippopotamus is a mammal that lives in environments where water is constantly available. Its habitat is closely tied to rivers, lakes, and wetlands. These watery spaces are necessary for the animal's survival, not just for drinking but also for regulating body temperature and skin health. The animal spends much of its time submerged, resting and cooling down during the day. Because it depends so heavily on water, the hippopotamus prefers areas with steady, year-round sources. Seasonal water sources can be dangerous for it, especially during dry periods when access becomes limited. Permanent rivers and wide lakes with shallow zones are ideal places for the mammal to live comfortably and move easily. These animals do not require deep water. They thrive best in shallow bodies where they can walk or rest with part of their body submerged. They often gather in areas where the water is calm and undisturbed. Their large size and specific needs mean that fast-moving currents or narrow streams are less suitable for their daily routines. The areas surrounding the water are just as important to the hippopotamus. It leaves the water mostly at night to feed, so the habitat must also include nearby grasslands or open spaces with vegetation. These areas must be close enough for the animal to travel safely and return before the day heats up. A good habitat provides both shelter in the water and a nearby food supply. Without one or the other, the animal struggles. It rarely strays far from water, even for food, because returning quickly is critical for survival. The places it chooses are always within reach of both food and water. These mammals also prefer places where they feel secure. They rely on the environment to provide cover and limit disturbances. Environments with fewer predators or human presence are more favorable, though the animal's size often discourages threats naturally. Still, the quality and stability of the environment affect its well-being. Hippopotamuses can be found in many areas where such conditions exist. They are not confined to a single region, but instead are spread across several parts of the world, as long as water and grassland coexist. Their adaptability within these conditions allows them to remain in a variety of settings. Changes in climate or human development can threaten these habitats. Drought, pollution, or construction near water bodies can reduce the availability of suitable environments. The hippopotamus needs continuous access to both water and food, and any long-term disruption can push it away or lead to decline. In a proper habitat, the hippopotamus can live for many years. Its lifespan is long for a mammal, especially considering its size. When left undisturbed and provided with the right conditions, it can live several decades. This makes it one of the more enduring mammals in the natural world. A healthy, stress-free environment contributes significantly to a long life. Animals that live in stable habitats with little interference often survive much longer. Their daily routines are less interrupted, and their energy is spent on maintaining health rather than coping with constant change or danger. In the wild, the average lifespan of a hippopotamus can exceed 40 years under good circumstances. Some individuals have been known to live even longer when protected from external threats. Their slow and steady way of life, along with few natural predators, supports this extended lifespan. The body of a hippopotamus shows signs of aging over time, but it continues to function well into its later years. The skin may change in texture, and movement may slow slightly, but the animal often remains active and alert throughout its life. Its routine rarely changes, regardless of age. Social behavior and feeding habits stay largely the same throughout its life. Even older animals continue to follow the same paths and spend similar amounts of time in water and on land. This consistency supports their longevity, as they avoid unnecessary stress and keep to familiar routines. In more protected areas, where they are not hunted or harassed, hippopotamuses may live even longer than in the wild. These mammals are resilient when given space and calm surroundings. Their long life depends heavily on the environment remaining stable and supportive. Despite their large size and thick skin, they are sensitive to changes in habitat. Pollution, noise, and reduction of water quality or food supply can all shorten their lives. A peaceful and natural setting is critical for them to thrive well into old age. Their long lifespan is a sign of their success as animals that live with slow, deliberate habits. They do not rush through life, and their daily rhythm allows their bodies to last. They conserve energy, avoid unnecessary conflict, and maintain a calm presence. In many ways, the habitat and the lifespan of the hippopotamus are closely connected. The more suitable the environment, the more likely the animal is to live a full and healthy life. The combination of water, food, and peace makes it possible for this mammal to reach a long age and remain strong throughout its years.